All right, everybody, welcome on in. I am Ruler of Men, joined by the Divine Ape, here for some Walker content. Tonight we have Ice Age versus the Kaldr's Good Boys. Getting on into this pretty soon. I want to say that both of these teams. No, looks like we're having some technical difficulties real quick. We'll be back in just a minute. Alrighty, everyone, welcome on back. Unfortunately, had some lobby issues, but we are back. I am Ruler of Men, joined by Divine Ape. How are we doing?
I'm doing great. Besides some technical difficulties, I'm ready to watch some Smite.
I mean, honestly, is it even Smite if you're not having technical difficulties once it's set?
No, it's not. I mean, I'm hoping Smite 2 gets rid of these issues, but if it doesn't, it wouldn't be real Smite.
Exactly, it wouldn't be authentic anymore. Always gonna have a little bit of something going on. Already, kind of getting in here, looking at what we got going on. How are we feeling about these bands?
Pretty standard across the board. I mean, the gods we've seen sort of that are plug and play.
Thor!
It's like simple gods that are really strong right now. Like if you ask me what they were, I'd say Hachiman, Anhur, Maman, Kukulkan, you know what I mean, and Athena. So just seeing those gods off the table just makes a ton of sense. And as well as the Thanatos, just an easy god to get a good lead on and sort of like snowball the game away. So standard bans, both sides. I like both sides bans here. Just get rid of these gods.
Yeah, definitely. Solid bans from both sides. I mean, the Thanatos, you don't really think of as like a super, oh, I really have to ban that out, but that's one of Twig's main gods. You're going to see him on like Thanatos, you're going to see him on Hun bots with Thor, so definitely one of those gods that you just don't want him to have specifically.
Yeah, I mean, and as soon as Thanatos gets
Proof.
banned, if like Thanatos is your main, you probably just go to the Thor. I think Thor's a fantastic pick right now. Like Thor's always a god that's gonna bring CC and damage to whatever team, and have the potential to just win the game one fight by hitting like a 3-4 man Anvil of Dawn. So always a scary pick to have, especially because his kit is so similar to
Ganesh.
Thanatos in terms of like the ultimate and the one. I'm sure Twig is also super comfortable on this Thor.
Yeah, definitely a very similar play style there, and I love it as a first pick because it's
Hmm.
flexible. We've seen plenty of Thor solo in the
Hmm.
past get great results, so it's something that kind of does whatever you need it to. Keeps the enemy team guessing a little bit. The other side seeing a little bit of a difference, Ganesha and Thoth.
Yeah, I mean, so when you pick Thor, you can tell you're looking for like this like earlier like mid game pressure. When you pick Ganesha Thoth, you're looking to sort of like just play like this later game style. So it's kind of like just the complete opposite of what from what we know from what the enemy team wants to do. I'll say this. I've said this one time. I'll say it as much as it takes. There's nothing worse than trying to dive the backline into a Ganesha.
Ishtar.
That character just he's so good at peeling. The silence is so annoying, and it feels really bad to beads it. So I love seeing that character on my team, but not against me.
Yeah, I feel that too. Ganesha, one of those gods that like it doesn't make sense in my head because I'm just a super aggro support.
Hmm.
But like when I'm playing jungle, it is just miserable to
Yeah.
play into the Ganesha. Just nope, he's ohmed. I guess I have to sit
Sobek.
this fight out. Sorry guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
No.
Thoth, like you were talking about, that late game is just so incredible. What if you wanted to be alive, but Thoth hit you for 2600 through the wall? Your entire health bar and then some.
Right, and that's
Thoughts?
just his one. That's before that's before he charges up the final judgment, and you can zone off an entire team by just hearing the sound effect of final judgments.
Oh god, oh god, we gotta get out. We gotta get out.
Yeah, very scary.
Gilgamesh.
Yeah, and Ishtar Sobek. So you see, we're looking to be aggressive. You have Ishtar, you have Sobek, you have Thor. You can get aggressive early on the map. As early as 10 minutes. You could even look for like these early fights if you're getting picks. You can kind of just see where their game plan is going.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's an aggressive comp.
Mhm.
That's a lot of dive. Sobex just want to hold W, walk at the other team, hit a pluck, drag them on in. But we look at the other side, and I mean, I would wager to say that's kind of the opposite. Like, oh no, you're not gonna do anything because we have Dharmic Pillars, Winds of Shamash.
Yeah.
Like,
No, I agree. Completely anti-dive with Winds of Shamash, and the Dharmic Pillars. What's also great about Ganesh and Gilgamesh is they can also, if they're are ahead, it's not like they can do nothing. Shamash and the Dharmic Pillars are incredible initiators to fights if they decide to get aggressive themselves or if they get a small lead. And really good stuff at like setting up the Thoth, just keeping players like in a specific area and just making his abilities so much easier to hit.
yeah, definitely, they both do have that pseudo lockdown where it's like, yeah, I mean, you can get out, but it's gonna hurt. You're gonna be slow, not gonna have any defense. Gives you the option of just saying you can't be there for the other team, or you are there and it's pain now. So I love those picks together.
Mm. And I wonder if this is a Gilgamesh solo or if it's a Gilgamesh jungle. I think both are actually pretty good right now, especially with like the items like Void Shield and Phalanx being so good on Gilgamesh that he could sort of like build
Chernobyl.
hybrid no matter which role he goes into. So I'm interested to see. I guess we'll see with their final pick. They could still flex it. Which way he's going, but I'm interested to see which direction they go towards. If they're going to go towards the jungle, maybe set up the Thoth more, or if they're going to be like a solo laner and sort of come to those like late game team fights and set up there.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely one of those
Sun
gods that
Wukong.
can just go either way.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, Phalanx. Yeah, I use one item to get all of my power. I
Yeah,
mean, not all my power, all my defense.
right.
We were talking about it yesterday on the podcast in like Bologna with Bologna passive and Phalanx passive. it's 100 defense. Just one item. It's actually insane.
Yeah, I mean, you can just go phalanx and then Xe second. You don't really need another defense item, and then you're swinging really hard, and you're really tough to kill. It makes it really difficult. Into the it's interesting we haven't seen Bologna picked or banned throughout the entire draft. We like to go to the Sun Wukong, which I actually think is a really good pick right now too. We've seen people rush
Chronos.
Jotun's Vigor first on the Sun Wukong when he goes into the passive and he gets that insane power spike from the Vigor passive. It makes it so incredibly difficult to deal with this god, and he does so much damage because he gets all that power so early. So definitely a heads up pick. I think Wukong's really good right now, but I'm interested to see why they picked it over the Bologna. I feel like it fit into the aggressive comp that they were building.
Yeah, I mean, Sun Wukong, always a safe pick. I don't think he's ever, the best pick,
Mhm.
He's got a lot of tools to, I can get in there, I can get out, no problem. But you don't specialize in necessarily one thing. But like you're talking about though, that Jotun's Vigor build, I absolutely love it in solo. I think it's just a better Soul Eater.
Yes, yeah, it's much better Soul Eater. I think Soul Eater got with the other items stacking from damage, it's become sort of the
Shock.
hardest item to stack in lane so far. So rushing that Jotun's Vigor, well, it's a little more expensive. It sort of does Soul Eater's job better than Soul Eater, and you don't have to take the egregiously long time it takes to stack that item. So really smart. And then it looks like we're gonna round out the draft with the Shock, which means this is gonna be a Gilgamesh jungle.
Yeah, I actually really like that Shock pick. You have the double auto attackers with the Chronos Ishtar. So having him be able to, slow down that attack speed, even if Chronos doesn't build a ton,
Mhm.
is going to be helpful.
Yeah,
Other
even
than
with
that,
Chronos
though,
not building a
oh,
ton, he has a ton in kit. So you sort of make it so that he either his attack speed is like super slow, or he kind of has to build in that attack speed. I don't think he will. I think the Chronos build is kind of set in stone. It's going to be like the full power, but it just makes that god a little harder to play, which was just nice.
yeah, but I can just build full power and just grab Bancroft's Talon because haha funny.
Yeah.
Is it Talon, right? The auto attack
Yes.
speed one? Yeah.
Yes. Bancroft's talent is the one that gives attack speed for your magical power.
Yep. Apart from that, though, which one of these teams are you favoring right now?
I like Ice Age draft a little more. I think double auto attack. Kaldr's Good Boots has the double auto attackers in Ishtar and Chronos that I think is prevalent, but I think it's going to be so hard to get in on Thoth. With Ganesha Shock, and even if you do, it's Thoth Chernobog, which do so much single target damage to any diver that does end up getting in. So I think I'd give it to Ice Age. I think their comp is just a little more well rounded, and it's going to do a little better in like those 5v5s. But it depends on if they get there or not.
Yeah, I think I also agree. No, I really like this Ice Age comp. It's easy to play.
Mhm.
That's the best way I can like phrase how I'm thinking.
Yeah.
It's a lot of easily executable things. You have the winds, you have the pillars, you have the chalk ultimate. You have a lot of things that get a ton of value in just a big circle. So I think it's just such a easier comp to execute that I just have to give it a little bit of a slight edge.
Yes, but that's not to take anything away from Calder's Good Boots. When you have two auto attackers like this, it's always hard to deal with things like split pushing and things like getting a pick. If Sobek plucks someone into Ishtar Chronos autoing them, they're just dead. It's gonna be real fast, especially because we see Ishtar's gonna be electing to go into Diamond Arrows, so they're gonna be going crit. So I'd like to see some spectrals on Ice Age's side, because it's gonna be tough to deal with. Crit does so much damage nowadays.
Oh, crit is insane. There's just a couple of frontliners that can even deal with a crit hunter, even after Spectral. I mean, the only ones that, feel good about taking a crit auto are like Kuzumbo and Bologna. Because, they don't actually take them. Bologna's got those big old block stack and Kuzumbo's just got a ton of mitigations.
Yeah, Kuzumo's a god we've seen a big resurgence of too. I think him having the only reflect in the game is really cool now, especially with new thorns and them stacking together. I actually like it better than the double thorns from before. And we saw Calder's Good Boots hover the Kuzenbo for a little bit, but they did elect to go Sobek. which I think is a smarter play. On their side, I think Subak's just a little safer of a god to, and especially when you hit those plucks, it's going to be really tough for Ice Age to position.
Yeah, definitely gives a little bit more repositioning compared to the Kuzenbo push, so gives them a little bit more. I definitely think, if they're able to play off that, if they're able to get a couple of good Anvils of Dawn, they could end this game out pretty quickly. I just think that Ice Age, is going to scale a little bit better into that late game. Other than that, though, we look at builds, not seeing too many differences here. Anything catch your eye?
No, Warflag from both supports makes sense. I think it's the most popular starter right now. I think the Warflag is obviously the best starter for the first 15 levels, but I think the upgrades on Benevolence and even Embrace, I think, are really, really strong right now too. So it's interesting to see that even in comp, that people are still electing to go Warflag. I thought it once we saw like comp, we would just see people playing for those upgrades in the later stages of the game because you're not really playing for lanes.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of these games are going, that 30, 35 minutes where it really just comes down to, oh, okay, yeah, let me just hold on a minute and then I'll scale up to you. But I want to say at Worlds we saw like 100% pick rate on Warflag, so I have a feeling that's where a lot of it comes.
Yeah,
People just saying the pros are building it every time. We got to build it. I think that there's a lot of use cases like you're talking about where those upgrades in the late game are just better, but it's just you kind of feel pigeonholed into following those builds.
yeah. I think it's just me being a heroism fanboy. I just think I think getting the shield when you get CC'd is so insane. It might be a solo kill.
Yeah, we do see a solo kill. Sun Wukong grabbing that first blood, beasting a Grizzle on the board, and I think it all comes down to the fact that he has the best tier 1 in the game.
Yes, yeah. Axe into that tier 1 of Runeforge Hammer, very good. I thought we would see the Jotun's Vigor rush, as we've seen a lot on Wukong's like in ranked, and in games, but I think Runeforge just as good right now.
Yeah, I mean Runeforge. I was looking more for my returning favorite, the Blackthorn Hammer. Just
Oh, Blackthorn really good too.
what if you thought about using mana? Yeah, no, never have to do that again. Never have to count your mana. Always gonna have it. Always gonna have just a ton of health. I love that item.
Yeah, Blackthorn, a fantastic item. I think whether he goes Runeforge or Blackthorn doesn't really matter. He got the first blood. He's going to be able to get his spike early enough to, be able to dominate this lane. I think whichever one he decides to go, doesn't matter too much. Oh, as we see another kill here in the mid lane, but this time, 4 Kaldr's good boots.
Yeah, a little bit too aggressive. I mean, that Gilgamesh early game is so hard hitting from the jungle. Just puts in that drop kick, grabs him a little bit out of position, is able to pick that one up for his mid laner. So just back and forth. Both of these teams, 1 kill on the board. Calder's good boys really only ahead just by that first blood bounty. So just keeping it even.
Yeah, first blood bounty, it's chunked. It's usually 500 gold. It's chunked down to like about 300-400. So it looks like Ice Age is, doing fine, like farming, especially with that kill. They'll actually be able to get themselves like a little back in the game. And the thing about the first kill being in solo, that feels bad is that you kind of just teleport back to lane, and as long as nothing happens while my teleport is down, it sort of feels like nothing happened. You don't really miss a lot of XP. Maybe you lose some neutral farm, but you probably would have lost that anyway, seeing as you got soloed.
Ooh, tough position here for Captain Boat. Is Beastly going to be able to pick up the kill? And he is. Splits a little bit of XP with his jungler there. Lenkanu looking for this kill, just barely not able to get it with the Winds of Shamash, and that is so unfortunate. Beastly gets out with just a sliver of health, and he's going to be 2-0 at this point.
Yeah, make no mistake, Thor used Anvil of Dawn, but that was a solo kill. Beastie got that before the Thor got there, so that's his second solo kill of the game. And he also gets the Winds of Shamash and gets out, which is a huge W for them. With that being down, it's usually Gilgamesh's biggest sort of like aggressor in the early game to try to get things done. Definitely a huge ultimate cooldown to have done.
Yeah, definitely one of those big, beads pullers. Maybe you have to pop a sprint to be able to get out of it. It's just a tough one to have down, and just It's so close to getting that kill. It does look like, however, though, we do see the most expensive tier 1 getting
I
picked
was,
up from that passive.
I was just gonna say he got Gem of Fate. If you get Gem of Fate on Gilgamesh passive, you are fated to win the game. That's just how it goes. Like that, 900 gold. It's the most expensive one. I mean, even if you build into like the Pridwin tree, which is the only item I think you would go, maybe you go Erendite. Um, Even if you don't build into that, you've got the most expensive starter for your passive, and it's one of the best stats to get on a tier 1, which is just flat 10% cooldown. That's going to be useful for the rest of the game, but he elects to sell it for Jotuns, which I actually do like a lot. You know, sort of, you don't need to be at 30% right now. There's really no huge point. Just hit your spikes right now, because you already, we're late to the first fight, so just get there earlier, have your ult online all the time.
Yeah, definitely can't complain about that. Only problem here is, Beastly is just getting big. Has that rune forge like you were talking about. Good silence from the Chalk, going to get him a little bit of distance. Cudgel is not going to be needed, going to be able to pick it up with the auto attack after the slow, and he is just running away with this lane.
Yeah, I thought he'd go Runeforged Hammer. Really smart with Tiger Stun and with Ox Form. Just makes it that you do 10% more damage, flat. And it comes up so big in the early game where neither player really has a ton of protections and HP. You see Shot go into this Glad Shield first, which is probably what I would have gone after the round shield. And, going down 3 times, you just need to have that health and defense to be able to survive this Wukong. That's going to get so much bigger from getting these 3 solo kills.
Yeah, definitely going to just continue to get bigger. Already looking at about, I would say maybe a level and a half lead. Pretty significant there. So going to have to maybe see a little bit more focus from Lenkanu over here on the solo lane.
Yeah,
I mean, game is still dead even. Jolt picking up a solo kill in the mid lane. Twig, unfortunately, a little slow on the draw there. Not going to be in range, and unfortunately, he's going to drop that revenge kill for his mid laner.
Looks like Gilgamesh is going to get a bit of damage off on the Thor, but he'll walk away. Nice of Captain to show up to, kind of peel off, but I think the Thor lives every time there.
Yeah,
and that is a
no abilities. I don't think he's getting anything.
Yeah. He's not. He already used the drop kick. He's kind of overstayed,
actually,
and it looks like they're coming back for him.
Ooh, Lurking in the Waters used a little bit early, not gonna be able to get the slow that he was looking for. Just gonna have to back that one off. However, it looks like they might have overstayed a little bit. Never punished though. Never punished.
Yeah, never punished. They get that in. They get that invade off, and they're golden. Although nothing too crazy spent on either side. Thoth is now 2-0, which I think is really scary if you're Kaldr's good boys, because Thoth is just going to get stronger no matter what point in the game it's at. Even if we're 50 minutes in the game, he'll get a 3k pot and a 500 potion, and he'll be even stronger than he was at 40 minutes. Thoth is such a scary character for how much damage he deals from a safe distance that this is such a good start for him to be off to.
Yeah, definitely. I'm almost starting to think, if the Chronos into Thoth was that good of a pick, I mean, Thoth in lane just never needs to be in your range, Just throws up a wall and hits you from halfway across the lane.
Yeah, I thought when I saw the Ishtar, I thought that was going to be ADC, of course, but as soon as I saw the Chronos, I thought the Chronos would go ADC and you'd have Ishtar mid. I do think Hunter mid right now is a prevalent strat. It looks like there might be a little bit of a scrap here in the mid lane.
Looking for something, but don't know if they're going to be able to grab it. A lot of damage comes out onto DDM. Great ultimate comes out from Jolt, grabbing himself a kill. Meanwhile, no, not a solo kill in solo. That's my bad. Twig is there to at least grab himself an assist for it. I don't know. Maybe he just came to steal some assist gold again.
Maybe he did. Because clearly VC does not need him to be killing the shot, because he has done it so many times. But another kill on the Thoth, the tip of the Final Judgment, full range used to get that kill. And one thing that I think is incredible about year 11 is Book of Thoth now stacks with damage on everything rather than just minion kills like it did before. So getting like all this poke on Chronos, getting all this like these early kills. It is all helping him sort of now he's gonna spike even faster than he would, in the previous seasons. And I hate to say this again, but Thoth is just going to get scarier as this game progresses. I think I would have liked to see what I was mentioning before, which was Ishtar mid. I do think Hunter mid right now is really good. We've seen pros like Venenu do it a lot, on his streams. I think what it brings is it brings a lot of pressure, and the crit means you really don't have too much damage to make up for than a traditional mid. So I
Yeah,
think it would have been smart
exactly.
to switch him. Yeah.
You're not worried about that burst damage because you do the burst damage. You crit for 800.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's your burst damage. Ooh, Twig unfortunately hammers in, not going to be able to get himself out there. Stop you putting down a great Dharmic Pillars. Both ults come out. Relics are forced. Lurking in the waters is Sobek. Will they be able to pick this up? Unfortunate miss from T-Pity, not going to be able to get the route onto Jungle Scrub, but it doesn't matter. Jolt is here through the wall, going to pick himself up his 4th kill of this game, and that's just good coordination, All of Ice Age just heads right to left. Oh, okay, yeah, they're at our purple. We're gonna send, 3 people there, and then even our mid's gonna come, and we're gonna be able to grab this gold fury off of that. Just great play.
And that's the smartest thing to do in Smite when both teams are even. When there's a scrap and let's say it's like a 2v2. Oh, as you see,
Gold
Captain
Fury
Boat
goes down, but
Gold Fury goes down, but yeah, Captain Boat got his return kill. He's like, no one kills me 4 times in a row and gets away with it. He gets that return kill on the Wukong.
he was just building up the shutdown. That's what it was. He
Yes,
wanted
yes,
all of his gold in one lump sum.
exactly. Very smart, very smart. And Wukong incredibly ahead right now in terms of gold. You see, he has his Runeforge glyph upgraded and the breastplate glyph upgraded, and you see Captain Boat only having the Glad Shield in tier 2, that silver breastplate. So it had to have been a huge mistake from Beastie McGrizzle to die there, to be honest.
I feel like it just has to be a tower dive. Just some, I got this.
Yeah,
I can fight him
yeah,
under his tower. It doesn't matter if he's Chuck and he's gonna silence me.
yeah. We didn't get to see it, but he definitely was getting too big for his britches for sure there, because there's no way that he the shock that's significantly behind in items. But back to what I was saying before, I think the best thing to do in Smite when you see like a scrap, like a 2v2 or a 3v3, is to just have more people show up first. Make it a 5v3. And then even if they respond with the other 2 members that aren't there, one person goes down before then and it's a 5v4.
Beastie McGrizzle, getting a little bit of pressure in there, gets his jungler here though, and it looks like Captain Boat might be taking the brunt of this one. A lot of members are here. Good stun from Twig, but it looks like it might have just been a bait. Jolt picks up his 5th kill of the game. He is just going absolutely crazy. Comes to the lanes, grabs the ult kills, and he is just putting in so much work.
Yeah, Jolt is putting on a clinic with these final judgments. That's the 3rd time in a row I've seen him walk up, final judgment summon at long range, and simply say, nope, Ice Age is taking the fight from here, and they're going to get what they want on this side of the map.
Yeah, definitely. Just controlling the flow of the game. They're saying, oh, well, we're going to go to solo, and it doesn't matter if you counter gank because we're countering your counter gank. just playing incredibly well.
Yeah, and Ice Age has done such a good job of sending more people to every skirmish that does happen. And really outside of, obviously, Captain Boat going down 4 times, the rest of them undying this game. It's 13 minutes. They're all doing fantastic. And all of and it's even, but Wukong has such a big lead that the actual other 4 members of the map have to have an even bigger lead for that to be even.
Yeah, definitely. Ooh, Jolt might be in a little bit of trouble here. Doesn't have the beads available. One good stun could put him on the gray screen here. Aegis used to get away from a little bit of this damage. Thor looking like he wants to make his way into this with the Anvil of Dawn, but not going to be nearly in range, and he just barely gets out. One more pluck, and I think he just dies there.
Agreed. I think it's a really good try from Kaldr's Good Boys. I think right now, if you're anyone on that team, your job is to try and shut down this Thoth. I think Jolt has done such a good job. He's been able to free roam and free cast every fight. That needs to stop. Whether you get the kill or not, obviously you want the kill. You want it really bad. But whether you get it or not, you want to stop him from feeling like he can do whatever he wants. And I think a try like that in the mid lane does really well is getting in the head of Jolt and just saying like, okay, now they're looking out for me. Now maybe I can't run over solo, hit a final judgment and leave. Maybe I can't run over a duo, hit that final judgment and leave, as he's shown he can do. And if you're Calder's good boys, this is what you want to do. You just want to put pressure on him to sort of stay in his lane and let everyone else farm it and sort of get to a point where they can shut him down.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, he's already starting to feel a little bit from his rotations, you know. His tier 1 is the first to fall on the map entirely, you know. Kronos able to just knock those down, you know, as soon as you look the other way, you know, you turn away with 1 second, he's got 1 minion, all of a sudden your tower is gone. So I love that, you know, if the Kronos isn't matching the rotations, he's at least, you know, knocking down that tower, getting things done elsewhere.
He is on level with the thought that Chronos. So I mean, it's probably like about a half level lead in the Jolt's favor right now. But him staying on level is very good and gonna help Calder's good boys in these fights.
Meanwhile, we do see a, you know, large fight over here at the Gold Fury. Jolt in a ton of danger. It looks like he will finally fall down. Great Ohm comes out, giving him the distance he needs. Beastly's looking for it. Will he be able to get it? No, he is not. College's good boys unfortunately not able to grab the mid laner, and it looks like it might just go bad on them. The chase is on. T-Pity is here looking for the captain. DDM is running the best that he can, but there are 3 people on top of him. He's going to recall, and it looks like he might have enough distance to get away, but Ice Age just, you know, has the members in the right spot, and they're going to be able to knock down this Gold Fury.
I say it's smart not to chase Kronos, but Kronos looking to double
Dude,
back.
he's still looking for it. Good knock up to keep him, you know, away from everybody. It looks like they're not going to be able to do that now. You know, can't risk this Kronos doing a little bit of something. Unfortunately, pays for it with his life, but, you know, his team members are back up, and I don't think this Gold Fury is reasonable anymore.
Yeah, it just depends if the rest of the Calder's good boys want to walk up to it. I mean, they know they had to have just started it, and they're all low. You see Thor walking up. This could be really bad.
Yeah, a lot of people here for it. Ice Age is able to confirm it, but will they lose anything for it? Lenkanu incredibly low in the back line. Twig unsure of who he wants to go on, hesitates for a second, and he's not able to grab any of the backliners. Still looking for T-Pity. Stop You is here though. Beads forced out. Lenkanu might be the only casualty here, and if that's it, I don't think that's a bad trade.
Yeah, if you're Ice Age and you get that Gold Fury and all you lose is your jungler, you know, sucks to suck, but you got the Gold Fury.
Looks like they might lose their solo laner trading for the jungler, and I mean, I still don't think that's horrible. Ice Age, you know, just able to take these team fights, able to secure that Gold Fury, and they're still in a great position, racking up about a 2,000 gold lead.
Yeah, Shaka a little too far there, but you have 4 deaths with 1 more. You know what I mean? You know, he'll still be prevalent. What's great about Shaka is even if he is super behind like he is, that character is just so naturally tanky, and he's got 3 defense items online. He's gonna be able to get in there, and he's gonna be able to frontline. Maybe not as well as he would be if he was on level with, you know, the Wukong, but he will be fine, even from behind.
Yeah, not gonna have to do too much, you know. Really, you just want to get that silence off in the fight. You want to be able to just throw your one out there and hit the rain call on it. So, ooh. Beacon goes down for them. Not quite able to land the Thoth ult to grab the kill there either. They get the beacon, they lose 1 for it. Not an awful trade, but Ice Age is just looking so strong right now. What do you think the Calder's good boys need to do to kind of bring this back to even?
I think they need to play around their strengths. Their strength is that they have 2 auto attackers and a Sobek. You know, you can front to back something like a Ganesh or the Shock, like Captain Boomerang, if he stands, you know, forward too much. You can pluck him, get the kill, and then you force yourself into a 5v4, but Jolt is so strong, he might be worth 2 people at this point, but you can front to back this team, this Ice Age squad. You just have to be together, and you have to initiate the fight.
Yeah, definitely going to be hard, you know, playing, you know, reactive against this team with, you know, the triple front line in Shock, Ganesha, and the Gilgamesh with, you know, just the crazy artillery support. It's just so hard. I mean, they're doing a great job. You know, they're still in this game. You know, we're looking at about a 3,000 gold lead for a 7-kill game. Like that's not bad.
Yes, not terrible. I think the as we see T Pity get another kill, hold that thought because
Looks
looks
for the
like
Anvil of
Twigs.
Dawn here. Will he be able to land it? Looks like he will be able to grab T-Pity there. Dharmic Pillars are used, but that's not going to do too much. Good on him for grabbing that one. Love the use of the teleporter to be able to say, oh, okay, you're going to die in left lane? Well, I'm in solo. I can be there in a second.
Yeah, and T Pity there thought he was sneakily hiding behind that wall, but I think Twig sniffed it out and saw him gets that kill. I think Kaldr's good boys are nowhere near out of this. They're really like after that kill, they're really only 2k gold lead down, which is something like a stolen gold fury or even like a pick and just getting like some invasion of farm. It all sort of helps close that gap. I think what you can't do here is the Thoth has to get shut down. If Jolt continues on this rampage, Ice Age will simply win. But if you're Kaldr's good boys, I think with your comp, you have to front to back. So you have to not. Oh, jeez.
That
As
was an
Joel,
incredible combo.
yeah, as Joel rotates over for another kill. Say it with me: 9-0, 2 assists, just doing everything he can on the map to push this Ice Age squad to a victory.
He's got to be worth like 1,200 on a shutdown right now.
Yes, you really want to shut this Thoth down, but if you tunnel vision at this Thoth, what's going to happen is he will get all his damage off, and then you lose the fight anyway. So you have to sort of front to back Ice Age with a nice Sobek pluck to get a frontliner out of position, and then force your team into a 5v4. But you really cannot be getting picked like this. I think Beastie McGrizzle spent too much time just getting some damage off on the shock for no reason, and now Ice Age can be anywhere they want, and they're gonna force Anvil of Dawn and probably get this Gold Fury.
Yeah, they're looking for this Gold Fury. I mean, unfortunately, Twig gets a little bit too big for his britches there and loses his whole health bar. He can't be wherever he wants, but Ice Age is here at the Gold Fury right where they want to be. They have that final judgment ready if they need the secure, and it looks like they don't know. Yep. Going to use it, okay.
Smart, get the secure. You don't really know who's there, but Kaldr's good boys kind of stepped up a little too far. I don't know if I like this fight.
Yeah, Jungle Scrub a little bit too far forward for my liking. Trading autos with Pity, but not getting the better end of it. Still looking for a little bit more. Are the Kaldr's good boys looking to fight in a little bit more? And I mean, it's not the worst call. I mean, they certainly can still take fights. They're only a couple thousand gold down. I mean, realistically, fighting power, they're down maybe 3,500. Ice Age still has a lot of gold in their pockets from that Gold Fury.
Thoth has 3,000 gold on every other member, at least 3,000 gold on every other member of Kaldr's good boy in terms of his net worth right now, and Ice Age's lead is a little above that. So I mean, if they can find that shutdown, they put themselves in a good spot, but they cannot get too greedy and sort of step up to stuff.
Great awareness coming out of T-Pity there to be able to, use that Turnabog ult to go ahead and get out of that really tough spot there. DDM looks like he's in a lot of trouble here. Ooh, Final Judgment not quite on the mark. However, he rewinds back towards some danger. Not quite into it, though. Thor gonna drop down on Stop You. Was maybe hoping to catch somebody trying to chase out DDM, but no squishies there for Thor to land on.
And Kaldr's good boys, they're doing a good job of keeping up in farm outside of like main objectives, which have all gone to Ice Age. Nothing you can really do about that with this Thoth. Kaldr's good boys steal it.
The Cudgel, it's too strong. He just walks in there, steals the objective, and pays for it with his life. But that's not a bad trade. I think that gets him a little bit closer to even. So good trade.
Too often does a solo laner walk up to an objective, use their one and get it. I think that's something we gotta in 2024. We gotta stop losing our objectives to solo lane, one abilities. It's gotta stop. But very good on Kaldr's good boys to get themselves something.
Unfortunately, Final Judgment not on the mark. Thor not quite able to land that Tectonic Rift. He might be in a little bit of danger. A lot of low health bars, but nobody quite falling yet. Jungle Scrub takes quite a bit of damage. Catches the dash from Jolt. However, the captain's the only one up there, not going to be able to hit the pluck either. Horrific is used. He's not going anywhere anytime soon. Jolt picks up that last hit, brings himself to 11-0, and what is Kaldr's Good Boys going to be able to do about this thaw?
It's looking like, what they had to do is 10 minutes earlier, man. He's so huge right now in terms of, XP, in terms of gold. He's going to back soon and probably get like an entire item and wrap up the build.
Yeah, he's
The good,
probably looking at finishing his item, grabbing like a 3K and a 500 pod. Feels like he's just that far ahead. But
yes, but Calder's Good Boys, the off can't get more XP than he has right now. Like it's almost to the point where he's as strong as he's going to be for the foreseeable future. Hold that thought, he's
Jolt
gonna
is
get a
just
ton of
like
damage.
looking for kills while his solo lane is running away. I love that. However, it looks like he might be in trouble. Finally falls. Jungle Scrub and Twig are able to take him down. Gets a little bit too greedy. T-Pity might be in the same boat. Has no dash left. Stopu is coming to assist, and Linkanu is here as well to peel him out. They finally shut down the Thoth after he gets just a little too aggressive.
Way too aggressive, I would say. I think Jolt was past the blue buff, and he knew his solo laner could not frontline for him. I think he knew he was by himself. He just thought he was so big that he could 1v9 there, which he can't, unfortunately. But he's about as close to it as you can get. I love Calder's Good Boys starting the Fire Giant here. This is so smart.
Yeah, they grab their pick and they just immediately go on it. No real steal going to be able to be done without that final judgment. Calder's Good Boys able to secure that out. Looks like the fight on the back end isn't going too great either. Lenkanu falls almost instantly. However, T-Pity is going to pick up one. Health bar is getting a little low on that front line. Beastly and the captain not feeling too great here. Ice Age continuing to chase down, but it looks like they might not be able to catch the distance they need. Great stun comes out from BDM, gets a great, little bit of peel for his frontliners there, and they're able to get out with 4 of their members.
And this is how Smite games are won, and this is how Smite games are lost. I think this, for the first time, the ball is in Calder's Good Boys' court. They got the shutdown on the Thoth, which Thoth had the entire lead of Ice Age's gold on himself. They got the shutdown. Gold is even. You have Fire Giant. You have late game Chronos. You have an Ishtar who's rounding out her build right now. This is where you can start to win fights, and this is where you should be taking fights. Ice Age probably going to go for this Primal Fury. I don't think anyone in Calder's Good Boys are in position to stop it. But in the next couple minutes is where Calder's Good Boys have to be proactive on that map and just looking to keep the ball rolling in their favor.
Yeah, looks like we're not going to see Ice Age pick up that Gold Fury. Maybe a little bit too worried, Calder's Good Boys, they've evened up the game. Looking at a minuscule gold lead, a couple hundred. They have the Fire Giant, and they have that double ADC. It's certainly their time to pull ahead, They knock down a couple towers real quick because they got double ADC. They take a Gold Fury, they take a Pyro. I could see them being 5k ahead at the end of this Fire Giant.
Yes, they just have to play it smart, and they have to not get picked by Jolt, because Jolt is still as powerful as any of these guys with Fire Giant, but the entirety of Ice Age isn't as powerful as all 5 of them with Fire Giant together. So Calder's Good Boys just have to stay focused and stay together, and if they're going to fight, it has to be with all 5 of them.
Yeah, definitely. Need to see them take those coordinated fights. Ice Age certainly has to be careful on this defense, A lot of damage coming out from those late game carries like you're talking about, Chronos late game, Ishtar, finishing up that build. They're really scary to fight now, They've scaled, and it's going to be tough to defend. Still looking for it, though. Looks like the Pyro could go either way. Ice Age is able to steal it away. Good silence comes out. Beastly takes a ton of damage. To Captain also pretty low there. Should have the pluck available after the ult. Yes, he does. However, we do see Jungle Scrub just pushing up that left lane. Okay, you guys are fighting at Pyro. I'm just going to push towards your Phoenix, and I have Fire Giant. I can take this.
And just like you were saying on the desk, I mean, we saw Ice Age, it used Winds of Shamash, they used Shackled, and they used Dharmic Pillars on that Pyromancer. They get it, and all of Calder's Good Boys have to walk away because they just got hit with all 3 of those super easy to hit, rather. huge, big abilities, and there was
Stops
nothing
you
they could do.
in a tough spot here. Kronos looking to run him down, has the speed boost, puts on the shoes, says, come on here. Beads forced off of the support. Probably was looking to save that for a Sobek pluck, but you don't get that luxury around here. DDM in a tough spot. A lot of damage comes out. Not quite able to land the final judgment before the rewind finishes. However, Beads and Aegis are forced. Remeders are here though. Frontline is here to get him out. Lenkanu looking for a little bit more. Jolt not quite able to get the damage through the wall. 1 HP. Hits the dash in, but there's the timeline. Not getting out quite yet. Twig is here. T-Pity looking for this kill. He's able to get it, but he's going to have to pay with his life. Great stun, but it does not matter. The Captain going to pick that one up. 1 for 1. Mid for ADC. And I mean, that's kind of in Ice Age's favor. You know, they're fighting into the team with that Fire Giant.
Yes, yeah. I mean, Fire Giant's gone on all 5 members, but they did take it off DDM before, which is a good pick. I think Kronos for Chernobog just about even in terms of like late game prowess. You know, you really do want your Chernobog to be proactive on the map and then sort of rotate over to a fight with that ultimate. What's nice is he's not going to be able to do that. So, but also Kronos is a fantastic split pusher in his own right. So you kind of just got both split pushers off the map and you're ready to 4v4. I think Kaldr's good boys.
2 out of 3. I mean, we did see Jungle Scrub just walk up and take that left Phoenix.
That's true. Yeah, he just walked up, no response, took the left Phoenix. So, I think the good boys are looking for a fight here.
Big looking for something. Will he be able to land it? Looks like he might be just a little bit out of range for what he's looking for. Able to land on Captain Boat, but he is just instantly CC'd after it. Low health bar, Lenkanu going to grab that one. Jolt really low on the back end, able to hit the point blank. Final Judgment going to be able to pick that one up. Jungle Scrub looking to get a little bit of damage off, but Ice Age is here and they are upset. They said, all right, you guys got the last effigy, it's not happening again. They're going to knock down 4 here. DDM looking to get in on the back, not quite able to pick up Jolt, and it looks like he might be in quite a bit of trouble. The entire team is after him. T-Pity able to land that crit auto, burst him down before he gets that rewind off, and that is an unopposed Ice Age EFG.
5-0.
Hit the effigy? Yeah, guys. Yeah. Hey, we got it! Right before the Fire Giant died.
Some Smite tech for you boys at home. The line knockup that the Fire Giant throws can hit the effigy for full damage. Doesn't get reduced. So if you're tanking the fire, you want the line to hit the effigy, and it'll actually take it basically automatically in 1 shot. But there,
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know that.
yeah, that is a brand new tech. You know, I'm not sure if it's intended or if it's a bug, but they haven't said anything. You know, that it is confirmed that it is a bug. So, you know, keep doing it until it's confirmed. But all 5 members of Ice Age get the FG. All 5 members of Kaldr's Good Boys die in that fight, and that's tragic because that was the only point in the game where everything was even. They got a little too aggressive and sort of all into Jolt, which is what they needed to watch out for.
Yeah, it looks like they might be able to grab the support here, stop you in a tough position. Captain Boat going to do what he can to help his support out. Looking to get that fellow frontliner out. Thor should be dropping down on in here pretty soon. DDM is able to pick that one up, knocking at least 1 off with that EFG. Captain Boat might also suffer a similar fate. A lot of CC makes it so he can't teleport over the wall. They immediately grab the front line. They don't care if you have EFG. You got a little too greedy. You stepped up, and we're going to put you right back down. Kaldr's Good Boys right back in it.
Yes, and that I hope they realize now that that's what they needed to do the whole time. Shock died off 1 CC. Kronos, Ishtar just were slamming autos into him, and he died. That's all it takes for Kaldr's Good Boys to win these fights. Jolt is going to be standing at a point where he's too far to hit, but he can still hit you. If you could just pluck something like Ganesh or the Shock out of position, you can instantly kill them and then put the fight in your favor. The problem is they keep trying to, in these jungle fights, they keep trying to go on Thoth, and then he gets away, and everyone dies because of it.
Yeah, looking to knock down this left Phoenix again. Not going to have the members quite in the positions they might want. T-Pity able to pick up Jungle Scrub. Low health bars from that final judgment hitting 3. What a great defense. I didn't think they were going to be able to pull it off, and there it is. Instantly taking those 3 members with just, you know, the damage dealers. T-Pity able to grab a 4th, and this is just immediately turned, and I think this could even be game. I mean, those are long death timers. It is just a Sun Wukong. They already have the base cracked. What do you think?
I think this is game. Even if Wukong does get out, what does he do to defend against 5? And
He does not get out.
Jolt is not going to let him get out. Jolt knocking out his 14th kill of this game. I mean, if you had to pick an MVP, it's that guy. He completely owned all of Kaldr's good boys, and you could see it in every fight. There was a point where it looked like Kaldr's good boys were up, but it went away very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, they make a great play, you know, they pick Jolt, they grab the FG, they play so well, but just one poor fight around that Fire Giant is all it took for Ice Age to regain control. Just a great fight, you know. Calder's good boys, they're down a little bit. They catch their break and Ice Age just immediately snatches it back. So what do you think we need to look at for bans next game? Do we need to see this Thoth go away?
I think so. I think whenever you're ahead, you feed the hot hand, and if Thoth is left open, you just give it back to Jolt. Jolt could have 3 gods that he's way better at than Thoth. You still want to ban the Thoth. I just think you don't want that kind of momentum and that kind of bad juju from him going 14-1, 40k damage in that game. You just don't want something like that to happen again. You don't want him to feel that good. Just have him play anything else. It does not matter. You want to ban that Thoth. I think, and I think there is some opportunities to sort of leave some stronger gods open for Calder's good boys if you do ban that Thoth, and that'll really sort of help them sort of get the ball rolling, because there was a couple times, you know, where it looked like they could win the game if they just had like a good fight or two. If you have a stronger god, if you have, you know, a little bit of stronger positioning, then that game could definitely just swing right back into Calder's good boys' favor. So yes, I think game 2, TLDR, ban Thoth.
You know, the jungle inside my head is saying, why would I ban Thoth if I can just make him pick it and then lock Fenrir? You know, that's just
Yeah.
like what my brain is like,
Yeah,
I could
I
bully
mean,
a Thoth.
yeah, no, I mean, I love the mentality of give it to him and then we'll counter pick it. I think that's also a great route for them to go. I think whatever you do, it's got to be centered around this Thoth pick, and whether you take it away or you build an entire team to counter it. I think Jolt has to be dealt with on this guy.
Yeah, definitely great game from Jolt. That'll do it for game number 1. We will be back in a couple minutes with game number 2 for you guys. All right, welcome back, everybody. Getting on into this game number two, Calder's Good Boys versus Ice Age. I am still ruler of men, and I am still joined by Divine Ape. How are we doing?
That was a fun game. I'm doing great after that one. I'm excited to see what happens next.
Yeah, definitely love these nice back and forth games. Where both teams have that chance of winning, and just one team's able to just take it at the end of the day. Already seeing some bands come through. Not too surprising. We
Mhm.
do see the Thoth get banned out.
Yeah, yeah. Thoth had to go, and I'm surprised they did on her first. And yeah, I mean Thoth had to go, man. Like that guy jolted it like went off too hard. And I think if you're Calder's, you got to just get that guy off the table.
Yeah, I mean, he's putting up, 40K. He's like 10K over the next person. He's just dashing in on Thoth, getting kills. Definitely love to see that band out. Still seeing, pretty standard stuff, the same things we were seeing last game, on her, Athena, Mammon, standard stuff. So exciting to see who's going to be able to make it through this game.
Yeah, I think Athena. Yeah, they're gonna run out the bands of Cuckoo, Athena, Cuckoo, Thanatos on her. All guys that are relatively easy to play, do a ton of damage right now, and are like just very good in general. I was gonna say Hachiman was the sixth ban last time, other than the Thoth, so
Hachiman.
I'd like to see that first picked here, and they do. Immediately first picking Hachiman. In my opinion, he is the strongest hunter in the game right now, and I don't think that's a super hot take.
I think that that's like a maybe lukewarm at best. I think he's just kind of undisputably that
Yeah.
best ADC right now. Just does whatever you want him to, decent early game, pretty good clear,
Jitterbug.
great ultimate for the late game, good safety, and he just scales so incredibly
Fafnir.
well into that late game.
Yeah, I would say the only other god in contention is probably that on her or this Turner bug that we see T Pity go back to in here in game two. I
Hot
mean, he
take?
had a good
I
game
I
last.
think that's Cherno mid.
Oh, interesting. What makes you think it's Turner mid?
Um, I want to say they played that last week. Yeah, they played it last week. Yeah, they,
Yeah,
they ran Cherno mid with the Fafnir.
that's smart. I think with
Surtur.
the clinic Jolt put on last game, you could put any god in that guy's hands, but you don't want it to be thought if you're Calder's good boys. But yeah, tournament would be super interesting, especially with the Fafnir. Going to mid lane, we
Kuzenbo.
see that Calder's was trying last game, and it didn't seem to work out. They're gonna go to this Kuzenbo and this Surtur. Such an incredibly strong front line at just killing people together. Like that is gonna be something that's really tough to deal with.
Yeah, I really love this Kuzenbo pick. You know, they have the Cherno, they have the Fafnir. They're pretty likely to be going, that extra auto attacker. And who better to soak up auto attacks than Kuzenbo, you know?
Yeah, no one actually. Now, if you're Ice Age and you're thinking about going double ADC, you've locked in Fafnir. They pick Kuzenbo. Do you still go double ADC, or do you think Kuzenbo is like such a
Bologna.
big deter of that style of play that you just don't want to go it anymore?
Honestly, that's a tough one, I mean, he does just do incredibly well into those ADCs, but at the same time, you already kind of commit with the Fafnir pick. If you're
Mhm.
picking Fafnir and you're not going for an aggressive auto attack comp, he just doesn't do too much. Incredibly long cooldown on the hammer.
Mhm.
I know I used to be a Fafnir main and support.
Oh,
Back when
yeah.
like 9.5 dropped and everybody just got tankier for no reason.
Yeah, Fafnir, I mean, he's a guy that's so interesting because his sort of entire kit revolves around making auto attackers better. He doesn't do really too much himself. I think the disarm is underutilized on Fafnir for sure, but it's really all about those hammer stunts in fights. I'd love to see, sort of how it's piloted. But I think if you're setting up for Jolt, like on the like you hit a long range hammer and Jolt just gets all his damage off, I think it doesn't really matter what god he's playing or if it's ADC or a mage. I think you set yourself up for for success.
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with any sort of set up for Jolt. But it looks like they might go a little bit of a different style for that auto attacker. Instead of full committing to the second ADC, picking up a
Poseidon.
Poseidon. I mean, that could still be the jungle. Time will tell. But not relying on the auto attacks, but still benefiting from them with the Trident. I really like that pickup.
Yeah, they've done a great job of not overcommitting to having too many auto attackers because I do think that is a detriment into Kuzumbo. But having gods that benefit from getting a coerce, gods like Bologna, gods like Poseidon, that'll just benefit without having to fully commit to like an auto attack build. So I think it's really smart draft from Ice Age.
Raven.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a
Scylla.
really good decision there. On the other side, I just see a W key. I see five gods that are able to just get in there.
Yeah, Kuzumo Surtur are going to be running it down with a Ravana with them, and then Hachiman and Scylla are just going to be so good at just following up no matter where they are. Scylla being so safe with her having her three, being able to get out, and Hachiman always having that minor archery available to just get out of a fight that they can sort of dive with this Kuzumo Surtur Ravana. And man, is it hard to outdive Surtur Kuzumo Ravana.
I
Danzaburo.
think we found our answer. Still going to be, you know, that Chernobog mid. They said, we got the Poseidon. He's really good with the coerce, but we don't need all physical. So I like that pickup. I like that pickup.
Yeah, and committing to double ADC into Kuzenbo, I think looking at game two from Modern Lens, that's what we're going to be looking at once we get to these late game fights. Is it's going to be so hard to kill this Kuzenbo, and then you're also going to have Surtur or Ivana running at you, which is also going to be incredibly hard to deal with. And you sort of, you wrote yourself into a corner with two physical ADCs. I really think Calder's good boys have outdrafted Ice Age here, which which I think after if you watch Jolt's performance in game one, I think is a crazy thing to say, but I think they've done it. I think Calder's good boys have just done such a good job at recognizing that it was going to be double ADC early, with the Fafnir top two, and just picking gods like Kuzumo Surtur that deal with it so well.
Yeah, definitely. I think that they've done a really good job at kind of counter drafting there. I like you're talking about. I just don't think that Fafnir getting revealed at that second pick is necessary.
Mm.
I think that if they don't pick that up, they can go a little bit longer into the draft before they pick him up, maybe even grab him in the second phase.
Especially because Calder's Good Boys is going to be banning out mages that Jolt plays. You can see they elected to ban Raijin and Morgan Le Fay. They didn't want Jolt on another mage that could like hard carry the game like he did in game one. So you really didn't have to, give too much prio to this Fafnir. I think you could have bottom picked it, um, with your secondary ADC.
Yeah, I just have to agree with that. I think that they save that for a little bit later. They got a couple more, you know, more valuable picks there. I mean, who bans Fafnir? Nobody's banning Fafnir. You just pick up. Oh yeah, I'm getting Cherno Bologna. Nobody bats an eye. Nobody thinks, oh, this is Cherno mid in a double ADC comp. I think that they showed a little bit too much of their hand there, and I think I have to give my vote to the Calder Good Boys.
Yeah, I mean they'll just have to execute on it because I think Ice Age have a draft that is still easy to play. I think you have gods like Bologna that I think is pretty plug and play. You have double ADC, but this Poseidon jungle. Poseidon's the god whose abilities are easy to hit, but Poseidon jungle I think is actually pretty tough to play. I think you have to do a lot to really keep up in farm, especially when you're going to be going against this Twig on this Ravana. It- It's you cannot crack in Twig because he will just two it and you will waste your ult and he will kill you. You can never 1v1 Robin, so you have to just do your best to keep up and farm, which I think is tough because it's Robin. You know what I mean? I think it, it's so gonna be so tough for them to pilot this Poseidon in the jungle that they have to get off to a really strong start in these lanes with these ADCs.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they have the players to be able to do that. T Pity looked really good last game. Jolt looked really good last game. If they're able to kind of keep this Poseidon in it, getting into that mid game, I think that they're going to be just fine getting there. So other than that, going to, you have to see how this goes. I mean, it could go any way. I mean, maybe Ice Age is, you know, they play really well around those objectives this game, like they were last game, and they just pick those up with their, double ADC with Crack and Confirm. There's a lot of ways that this could go.
Agreed. I'm interested to see who goes crit as well. I think if you have two hunters, ideally you want one to go crit and one to not go crit. That way you don't give Spectral the ultimate value, and one ADC is always going to be doing enough. I think you want ideally Chernobog to have the crit and Danzabro to have the power. That's what I imagine that they're going to go. Um, but I do think if you swap that around, it's really not that bad.
Yeah, I don't think you can really go wrong either way. I mean, I think, Donza goes a little bit better with that, with, a little bit more power pen. I mean, my favorite build is like, oh, I just build Transcendence on him and I rock it in, I hit an auto, and I just press one and you die. Just a ton of burst damage you can get out of him. But at the same time, maybe you don't want Jolt to go that crit because, then he's the one that gets really hurt by that Spectral, and he was the star player from last game. So it's really just a tough decision.
Just looking down at both team comps, I think if you're Ice Age, you really want to get off to a good start. Because if you get too behind and you're double ADC into this Kuzenbo, I think you get steamrolled. So I'd like to see them just be a bit aggressive in each lane and maybe look for invades. At the second buff spawn, things like that. Because you really have to.
Yeah, and on the flip side, I want to see the Calder's Good Boys get aggressive. I
Mhm.
want to see them really try to shut down these ADCs in the early game. That's the best time to do it. The minute one is the weakest an ADC is. They just get
Yeah.
stronger. So love to see them just take a commanding lead in this early game. Other than that, though, not seeing anything too crazy in these builds. What are we looking at?
No, everything pretty standard. I think we see Golden Shard on all the ADCs, Golden Shard on both solo laners. That's all pretty standard. Sturdy Shard for your supports. I'm so interested because I assume for the Poseidon jungle, I wonder if they're going to give him more XP and forgo the mid laner going to that speed camp because you don't want him to be behind against Robin because it's such a horrible counter matchup for Poseidon. Seeing as Robin can just two his entire kit, and it's so um oh what's the word, like you see it coming like so easily that it's
Yeah, it's so telegraphed. It's so
telegraphed. Yes, thank you.
yeah, yeah. Hey, well, oh, you press crack and I see it on the ground. Yeah, I'm gonna two. I'm gonna ult on top of you. There's just so many options that Ravana has. So yeah, definitely a tough decision on whether or not you kind of sack a little bit of Jolt's farm to get Lenkanu a little bit ahead. Other than that, though, getting right on into the action. Surprisingly, no big fights in duo yet. I figured, seeing how they were
Yeah.
last game, they were on each other's throats from before they were even hitting the minions.
Yeah, 40 seconds is too long for there to not be any fights this early. To be honest, it looks like Ice Age did, or sorry, Calder's Good Boys did elect to give Robin the speed and the chest buff by himself and get him ahead, which I didn't think about. That's going to be really smart in Poseidon, but DDM's going to take a little too much damage in mid. He's going to go down too early.
Yeah, unfortunately, just falls to the onslaught. Poseidon able to pick that first one up, and that's huge. That's what we don't want to see. If you're rooting for the Calder's Good Boys. Meanwhile, Captain Boat picks up a solo kill. A little bit of a reversal from last game. We saw the early solo kill from Beastly, but he's getting that gray screen first in the solo lane.
Yeah, and last game it was all Beastly for the first 10 minutes of the game. 4-0. 3 of those being solo kills. It was not looking good for Captain Boat. So good on him to sort of recognize that this game, new game, reset your mental. You're a stronger god. Bellona versus Surtur. I think she's just stronger at level, 1 through 5.
Maybe like one through 1 through 10, 1 through
Yeah,
15. Just
maybe one through 20.
maybe 1
Yeah.
through 20. Yeah, I think Melonas is just like, you know, the premier solo laner right now. But I like that. You know, maybe he just really got the download from game one. You know, he understands what Beastly's looking for in that solo lane because, you know, we saw him 2 levels down getting a solo kill over there. So he
Yes,
can definitely play in this lane.
exactly. And I think if you're the Surtur, like if you're Beastie here, I think you really need your jungler to come over because there is no beating Bologna, but it looks like the opposite's gonna happen. Is he's gonna get ganked.
Yeah, and I love this, you know, early re-gank. I mean, if they're able to pick up this kill, even if they can't, you know, ooh, good Scourge is going to take that one down. Captain Boat picks up 2 kills. Teleport isn't available. However, Ravana's here, not going to be able to land the root. Great Eagles rally lands on top of him. Twig might die here. Hammer is good. Captain Boat,
Oh,
3 kills in 3 minutes. This is not what you want to see. Bologna's, you know, like the best solo in the game, and she's already big.
so huge. They're gonna be able to back for a full phalanx pretty soon. I think. Like
If
insane
not
plays.
already, I mean, just
Yeah.
incredible.
Right.
So much pressure.
So smart of them to instantly hit level 5 and recognize that you can Eagles rally there just to stop the kill potential on it from Kaldr's Good Boys. It really heads up play from Captain Boat and
Jolt came
the
to
game.
invade the purple. That's so mean.
Yeah,
That's disrespect. That hurts my feelings. I'm not even in the game. What do you
Yeah.
mean the mid laner came all the way to my purple to steal it? What are you
Yeah,
talking about?
yeah, yeah. I mean, I assume DDM called missing, and you're like, and if you're Kaldr's Good
What do
Boys,
you
you're
mean
like,
he's
he's
missing?
on
Is he doing
purple.
a side cam?
He's on
Oh, he
purple.
went in
What do
left.
you
He's
mean?
doing left mids. No, he's on my purple. Huh? Just Ice Age just commanding lead already.
Right, and that's heads up play by Jolt too. I mean, you know, BC just went off, got those 2 kills in the solo lane. Who's gonna stop you from going to their purple? No one on the map, especially if you're like this mid laner who already got the assist for the first blood. No one can stop you, so why not just walk over to their purple, get it, deny some more farm, or call those good boys, and get yourselves more ahead because you're gonna need it because you got double ADC and a Kuzumbo. And if you're called as good boys, you have to do what you can to sort of like stifle this pressure because it has been all Ice Age for the first 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah, I mean, just a great early game from him. Looks like we might see a little bit of shenanigans over there now. Lenkanu, not worried about it. I think that realistically they could have gotten a kill there. Just Eagles rally into the Kraken. I think that they might have been able to kill Surtur there, but I respect him not going for it.
Yeah, I respect them not going for it too. You never want to get too greedy. Too greedy is almost what put Ice Age in the position where they almost lost last game. So I think heads up play for them to just sort of, take the foot. It doesn't have to be full pressed on the gas the entire time for you to be proactive on the map.
Yeah, I have to agree. You know, take your wins. Don't get too greedy. I mean, like you're talking about, you know, Jolt gets a little bit too greedy, and then all of a sudden, Kaldr's Good Boys are, you know, controlling the game for the next 10 minutes. So, I love them, you know, showing a little bit of restraint there.
It looks like both supports, obviously starting Warflag again. It looks like the captain's going to go into Prophetic here, and Stafford is going to go into Thieves, which I think is interesting. I think both items are incredibly good. It kind of depends if you can stack Prophetic fast enough, because Thieves stacks so fast, especially if you're just playing a comp game with your teammates. It's really easy to sort of get those stacks off.
Yeah, definitely. You know, Prophetic's one of those items that I feel like you can only build when you have like certain gods. You know, certain gods that you're just trying to run at people, just trying to be an absolute menace. And I mean, Kuzumbo might be the best stacker of it. You know.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I'm not even gonna hit you with an ability. I'm gonna press 2. You hit me. I get a stack.
Yeah.
That
reflect damage is come to mind is Itzy's gonna go down again, and it's looking like a complete flip from game 1 solo lane. Captain Boat
the captain in a really tough spot. Gets hit with the horrific, great awareness from Jolt to see Twig coming, going to be able to get out of there, and Ice Age just playing so strong over on this solo side of the map. I mean, that's 3 deaths for Surtur. Ravana died over in that solo lane. Captain Boat is just huge.
2K gold up already. It's not even 10 minutes yet. That is so detrimental if you're Calder's Good Boys, especially after, the performance from Ice Age in game one. You can chalk off game one to just being, well, Jolt got Thoth, he played incredibly well, nothing we can do. Jolt's 0-2. It is the rest of Ice Age. That's the problem now. You really have to do your best to sort of come together and try to come back from this, but this is tough.
Yeah, no, this is definitely a tough lead to deal with, especially Ice Age being as scaly as they are, Every one of those members is just incredibly strong at that level 20, even more than, some of their enemies, so this is going to be a tough game if Calder's Good Boys aren't able to swing this momentum soon.
And the way I think they swing the momentum is got to be through dual lane. I think the captain's got to be, proactive and really try to get on this Don's Burrow. He's a guy that does struggle against ganks, and it looks like that's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, pushing him out of position. He doesn't have any of those movement options to get away. Good mounted archery to make sure he can't get away in a leaf. However, Jolt is here. One more auto will do it. Jungle Scrub falls. Great gank coming over from the Cherno, and I think we were talking about this just the other day. Cherno mid, it's so strong because, the mid laners don't really get that option to rotate out as much as, these side laners do with those teleporters. Hold that thought though. Looking at a Gold Fury fight here. Looks like, going to get the dragon out. However, Scylla on the other team, it's going to be a risk to try to secure this.
Yeah, I think in any case, you really don't want to take this in front of a Scylla. You're trying to bait out a fight here, but Fafnir took way too much damage from that Gold Fury.
Yeah, Fafnir loses a ton of health there. Great backstep from Lenkanu, getting away from that. DDM unfortunately not able to land the I'm a Monster to finish off Jolt. Lenkanu incredibly low. DDM picking up the first kill for the good boys. However, T-Pity's looking for a little bit more, riding the rocket in, going to land on Twig, ton of damage, no mana. The captain uses the dash to peel for his squad, but I think that might seal his own fate. DDM also caught in the crossfire, going to go down, and that is so unfortunate, Calder's Good Boys finally swings the momentum a little bit, and T-Pity just gets in there on the rocket, lands the double stun, and immediately says, no, this is still our fight.
Double root into a double kill. Is he playing Thoth again? Like, it's exactly just signs of game one on Jolt. Everywhere, he's so hard to deal with, and Calder's Good Boys, there was a sign of life. You saw DDM get that kill, and I think it was a beautiful I'm a Monster, just a little off the mark, but I do think there was a really, heads up play from them, but they just stayed a little too long, and long enough for Jolt to get in a good position, come back, and get the double kill.
Yeah, I mean, great play from both teams, I love that Calder's Good Boys, they aren't looking at that kill deficit, that gold deficit like it's a problem. They're like, that's fine. We're still gonna take fights. We're still able to do what we need to do. I mean, that was very nearly their fight. A lot of low health bars, They almost kill T-Pity at the start. Lenkanu gets really low. Just a little bit more, and they're gonna be able to take these fights. Nirvana ult used, looking for a little bit on Jolt, able to overhead kick the Kraken there. Lenkanu running for his life, gets picked up by DDM with the I'm a Monster, lands again on two people. Jolt is in a really tough position. He will fall down. DDM double kill, and that is what we needed to see.
Again, what do you do about Scylla? I mean, if you're two hunters fighting into a Scylla, she kind of can just free cast unless your front line's doing something about her, because look exactly what happens in that fight and the previous fight. Scylla didn't die until the double root from Jolt, which, fantastic positioning from him, but that's not going to happen every fight. What can happen every fight is an I'm a Monster into a dead somebody, into another I'm a Monster, and speaking of another beastie, because we're going to go down another time in the solo lane. 4-0-1 from Captain Boat. 0-4-0 from Beastie McGrizzle.
But why weren't you playing Bologna game 1? Why are we saving it for the game 2 tech? I mean, just a complete turnaround. Just absolutely dominating this lane. Solo kill after solo kill. Amazing lead. Twig gonna blink in, but my guy, it's a Bologna with Phalanx and Berserker. She could probably kill you if she was 15% health.
Yeah, you never kill Bologna there, unfortunately. I think if you're two, you just got to give up what you can and let Sir TP back in and get his farm where he can. But if you when your solo laner is ahead like this, what's nice about it being in the solo lane is you can kind of contain it. You know, you can sort of keep Bologna there, and that's what you have to do for as long as you possibly can. If Bologna does elect to rotate using a teleporter, you can see that coming and back off, but you know, they've won so far. You have to contain that Bologna in the solo lane because you do not want them to show up to fights. They're so big right now.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we see Ice Age just stripping away those jungle camps, getting a little bit further into Kaldr's good boys territory, and I love to see that. Okay, well, we have all of our farm. Let's start taking their farm now too. Let's really push this lead. Other than that,
Um,
though, looking at builds, an item that I don't see a lot, I don't really, know the merit behind it, is that Sekhmet Scepter on Surtur.
so Surtur's a guy that benefits from the attack speed from Sekhmet Scepter, and it does sort of work with his three really well. Like the nuance of the interaction, I don't recall. It's like because when you pull the rocks with your three, it does count as a heal, like you're healing yourself. So
Yeah.
it is an item that works really well on Surtur, but I don't know if you
Yeah, I'm just
want to go it when you're behind. You know what I mean? Like
I'm just so used to seeing that maybe be a vital amplifier, to
Mhm.
buff up that attack speed rather than
Yeah.
the cooldown from the scepter. I was just curious, but still, Beastly McGrizzle just can't have any fun in this lane. Captain Boat is just on point this game, doing everything he needs to and then some. I love Jolt here saying, I'm tired of the Surtur being able to even think about doing something. Let me go ahead and knock down his bastions, maybe this tower too.
Yeah, and what can you do? I mean, Twig is doing what he can to clear that wave to sort of make Captain Boat tank the tower and maybe get him out of there, but it does not work. Bologna is so far ahead, and Jolt himself is also ahead as well, despite the insane plays from DDM in the last fight. It's just so hard for Calder's good boys to get back into this game.
Yeah, definitely tough for them to get back in, especially, Surtur just not being able to get any of that farm, just having a really rough game. Same level as the support, not feeling good about that. Do see him, starting to counter build a little bit though. I do like that breastplate upgrade. That is the
Mhm.
one that, gives that, what is it, reduced auto attack damage after the ultimate,
Yes.
so really strong there. But one other thing that I noticed, both of these ADCs have crit.
Interesting. Yeah, I know that's a good shout because I mean, at this point of your Ice Age, you are far ahead enough to where maybe you just both go crit, you start objectives, the objective dies, nothing Scylla can do. But if this game does end up going, 25, 30, maybe even 40 minutes, both frontliners could have Spectral and, both your carries there aren't useless.
I don't even
Right.
mind if, Robin picks up the Spectral. I mean, double
Yeah.
crit ADCs, I'm diving the backline. They can't even
Yeah.
hurt me anymore. I got a Spectral.
Yeah, definitely weird plays. I definitely think they should communicate that one of them should go crit and the other should just go full power pen build. But electing to both go crit, maybe they're just both feeling themselves. They are obviously Ice Age has run this game since minute one essentially. So maybe you're just like, listen, we'll win before they can get Spectral online or their tanks can get taken up to where Spectral matters. I mean, that looks like the play here, but that could get scary. They're only 4K ahead despite them winning every fight and getting every objective. It's
That's like 5,500, right?
right.
Yeah, yeah. They're
Yes.
significantly.
Yeah.
They're definitely pushing that. I love Jolt there using the ultimate, trying to see, if that Surge is gonna ult out or not.
Mm,
Because even if he doesn't go over there, like
right.
he just stays in mid, just the slow from his ultimate will give him an assist. Just like using Shibalanke ult.
That's true. Yes.
And getting those rage stacks, real nice.
Yeah, and going Rage. Rage is such an interesting item because it's like the worst power spike in the game until it's stacked. So you want to get early to sort of get those stacks, but also if you go something like a Wind Demon, then you have a really good spike, and you can sort of you're better in a better spot to get those kills. So it's always a weird item to go whenever you go it.
Yeah, definitely a high risk item.
Mhm.
A little bit of a fight going on in the duo lane. However, Twig is here, gets the blink off. Aegis is forced. Peel comes out from Stop You. Up down with the Mystic Rush, not quite able to grab that. Incredible Kraken from Lenkanu going to pick that one up. DDM is here though. Good root, good crush. Aegis is forced. I'm a Monster absolutely smashed. Great damage. Even hits Jolt with it afterwards. However, a great dash from Fafnir going to land. Also lands the enhanced hammer. Just incredible play from Stop You there. Just, oh, so tough. Jolt, however, forced to use both relics there in a tough position. Surtur is coming, looking for the land, however, able to get into the wall. Looks like he might be able to get out here. Yeah, Stop You buying quite a bit of time here. Good stun from BC McGrizzle, though. This could spell the end of Jolt here. He's so low. Thorns are popped. He's trying to get away. Thorns pop, and they're able to take out Jolt. And this, honestly, pretty even fight.
We talked so much about how good Kuzenbo is in the two ADCs that we sort of didn't talk about what happens if both the crit ADCs just kill the entire backline. I mean, DDM goes down so fast just from one Fafnir stun, taking a couple autos from Chernobog. Like, he gets 2 rage stacks that fight. He's only getting stronger. And yes, they do go down to Kuzenbo after the fight, but you got everything you wanted. You got the kills that you wanted. You got the pressure you wanted, and if that happens every fight, then and eventually it just won't matter if the Kuzenbo's still alive. They'll just kill the Titan, and it's like, what can he do?
Yeah, I mean, I think gold-wise, that was a little bit of a win for Kaldr's. I think they closed the gap by about 500 or so.
Mhm.
Nothing crazy, but I mean, it's good signs. Also, Kuzenbo is level 16. He got so much XP from that. Great Kraken going to land right on BC McGrizzle says, "Oh, you came to duo to fight our backline? Yeah, no, we're not letting that slide." Picks up that kill. Lenkanu forced to beads there, gets hit by the root from the Sikkim, and looks like he might be chased down. DDM incredibly low. One auto will do it. Will they be able to land? No. Sentinel gets him to the escape. He's going to be able to get out of there just barely, and it's just tough, you know. Every time it looks like Calder's good boys get a good strike back, Ice Age is just right back into it. And it looks like they're going to go ahead, use their auto attackers to pick up that Pyromancer, and they're just so commanding this game. What do Calder's good boys need to do to bring this back?
So you have Scylla, who's a god that really is tough to outsecure, especially if you're auto attackers. I think if you're Calder's good boys, you have to just show presence around these objectives and show that you're stand as 5 and show that you're in the area ready to steal any objective they start. And then you force Ice Age to have to fight you around an objective. And once that happens, you have to just see someone and kill them with DDM on this Scylla, who has shown that he's able to do that so many times. So that's sort of how you have to play every fight. You are, super behind at this point, so that is just going to be something that is tough, especially if DDM gets picked here, because everyone's looking to hunt him down.
Very realistic. Great stun comes out. Beads and I'm a Monster used to build some distance. Lenkanu using that speed buff to great effect, but going to be forced off the Scylla, not going to be able to quite close the distance. I definitely think, if they're able to just grab, just a little bit of CC on one person, blow them up with Scylla like you're talking about, they can get a lot done. But I think we just need to see more Spectrals. I mean, Surtur doesn't have Spectral yet. I think Ravana should build a Spectral. I think that, some junglers might not agree. Oh, I need to be full damage so I can just burst them down. Who needs to burst them down if they can't kill you?
Agreed. And I think Robin's one of those guys that can abuse how good Spectral is. Hold that thought, because they're all going in on Jolt here.
What a great dash into the wall and just building the distance to be able to ult away. That's such a heads-up play from Joel.
Jolt, not positioning perfect, but doing a perfect job at getting out of a bad position. And just gets so many ults from Calder's good boys, and just for really Chernobog ult, and nothing
He
else.
kept
He's
his
still got both
relics
relics.
too.
Yeah,
That's
both
a,
relics.
I had to take a double take when I was looking at that. He still has both relics after that. Do see Kaldr's Good Boys pushing up around this Gold Fury. Certainly looking like this might be the next battleground. Bologna going to be able to TP on in here. Going to be behind the majority as well. So could see a little bit getting done. Not quite able to get quite what we want. Looks like Bologna might actually be the target here. Ooh, good. Eagles Rally takes away 3/4 of Dead Dank Meme's health bar off of that. Kraken not going to be on the mark. However, I'm a Monster only lands on Captain Bo. Great rocket in from T-Pit. He's going to pick that one up. Beastly McGrizzle is the next to fall. Len Kanu looking to get in on Jungle Scrub, forced to retreat to Captain incredibly low. A lot of low health bars from the Good Boys, but I don't know if they're going to be able to pick this one back up. Looks like they're still looking for more. Tower is going to be looked at a little bit here. Aegis forced off of Jungle Scrub, beads used afterwards, and not going to be able to knock down that tower, but that Gold Fury is certainly going to be theirs.
Yeah, Ice Age have not. They don't have an answer for Kuzenbo, so they just kill everyone else in the fight. You see, Danzaboro rockets in right onto DDM when he's low. Kuzenbo did his best to peel off DDM. Really, really good watery grave to get everyone off of him, while the Aegis is active. But then you see T-Pity is going to rocket right in there and kill the Scylla, and then Scylla's dead. You have 3 frontliners, only one of them has Spectral. You just kill him. I mean, if you're Kaldr's Good Boys, you really have to be defensive around these objectives because you are behind. You don't have the Spectrals to sort of shut down the offensive Ice Age. So you cannot be standing up that far. Bologna TPs and is further back than all of Kaldr's Good Boys, and that's such an easy engage onto DDM, who's sort of, if you're gonna win through Kaldr's Good Boys, it's got to be through DDM at this point. I don't think Jungle Scrub he's gonna farm up and sort of get to that late game point. But you have Double Hunter on Ice Age. Like all this damage has to be coming from the Scylla, and they're just not positioning well enough to keep the Scylla alive.
Yeah, also, looking at builds, we see Jungle Scrub opting for the Rage instead of, the other item, Demon Blade. There we go.
Mhm.
I keep thinking Wind Demon. My
Yeah.
brain is like Wind Demon, Wind Demon. It's not Wind Demon anymore.
Yes. Yeah. I
Demon
I
Blade,
also
yep.
call it Wind Demon because
Mhm.
it.
It was Wind Demon for so long.
I know Smite can't just be
Yeah.
changing the names of items like that. My old brain cannot,
hmm
handle change.
You know what item I miss? Shadow Steel Shuriken.
Yeah, I miss Shadow Steel
It
Shuriken too.
was it was just so good. Remember when the meta was you just build Shadow Steel first item as ADC?
Yeah, those
It
are
was
good
just like,
times.
oh, this is just ridiculous stats. It doesn't matter. Like, huh? You build crit first item? What? No life steal? No.
It was so funny. As we have a pause here, it was so funny with Shadow Steel Shuriken. It's when it came out, everyone was like, "This is such a bad item because why would I want my anti heal to be sort of
Luck
lucky?"
based. Yeah.
Yeah, luck based anti heal. It's such a dumb idea. But so what they had to do to make people buy the item was sort of like, buff a stat here, buff a stat there, and then eventually it became like a solo best item in the game. Um, for ADC. It's definitely not a fun one to be a tank player, but a fun item nonetheless. Sad to see it go.
But yeah, back into the action. Ice Age picking up their 3rd bomb. That is 3 bombs in pocket. That is more secure than DDM could ever hope to put out at this point. That's 3,600 damage on the Fire Giant if they place all 3. That's an insane amount of burst damage. That's a full Phoenix with minions. Just a lot of, pressure just in the pockets with those item slots.
Yeah, there's so much, that can happen. It looks like Ice Age is looking to just shank down this Kuzenbo. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Watery Grave Forest and half of his health bar. Jolt forced to beads though, gets hit by a crush, loses, 2/3 of his health and has to reconsider just a little bit there.
Yeah, and Ice Age, I'm interested to see whether they are sort of zoning for this fire gen, or they're looking to take down this tier 2 and sort of open the map up for themselves and look for like invades throughout the game.
I
Looks
mean,
like
there's a
get
lot
the
of
lefty
options
too.
for him. Ooh, good blink in from Twig, looking to get Jolt. Just barely survives the initial burst, survives the I'm a Monster with about 1 HP. Beastly McGrizzle able to just press 3 and pick him up when he lands over in solo. Great pick to start off from Kaldr's Good Boys. Lenkanu in a bit of trouble here. Twig putting on just a ton of damage, able to pick that one up. Just barely out secures Jungle Scrub with the mounted archery. Stop You going to be the next to fall here, using bombs to try to peel, but it is not enough. It actually might be. Just barely able to jump after he gets hit by the Kuzenbo pull. But just incredible play from the Calder's Good Boys, They see Jolt just a little bit out of position and they jump on it immediately.
Yeah, beautiful 3v3 from them. We saw Surtur, Bologna in the right lane. We saw both ADCs in the left lane. So we just saw them 3v3 in mid at 26 minutes, and Calder's Good Boys is going to win that every time. I think they spent a little too much on Kuzenbo. Maybe Jolt thought that he could, do a little way more damage than he thought he could. Eats a crush, and then that's a bad start to a fight because Kuzenbo will be fine, even though he lost half his HP. He wasn't losing the other half before Jolt goes down there every time, and Calder's Good Boys looking good for the first time this game. They are still 9k down. It's really going to be tough. They're going to need a lot more scraps like that where they come out on top if they're going to get back into this game.
Yeah, definitely though. Still good signs, Able to say, okay, well, you're an ADC and your peel right now is a Fafnir. He has
Peace.
a disarm and a stun every 45 minutes, give or take.
I think someone wants Fafnir to get buffed. I don't.
I don't
I
think he
see
needs to get buffed. You have to just say, this guy does not have peel for me.
Yeah.
He has a hammer. If he misses that, you just have to cry. Or, if Ravana just overhead kicks it. Oh, wow, I guess I'm dead. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, Fafnir going to live every fight, but appealing for his teammates not going to happen all the time, as Bologna might be a little out of position here. All the Good Boys are coming.
Yeah. Bologna out of position. Maybe it's just a bait, I think Bologna could probably take a 3v1 right now. Probably walk away. Maybe not get any kills, but probably walk away.
Such a strong god right now, and you have the Axe Animosity online, really going to hit harder than
big damage into the captain to start off this fight. Not going to lose any health to a Scylla Crush on the back end. However, Twig monster damage onto Lenkanu. Mounted archery going to knock him down into range to die by that Mystic Rush. DDM incredibly low, however not quite going to fall. Jolt going to be the one that falls instead. T-Pity able to pick up DDM on the back end, but just two incredible fights from Calder's Good Boys. Still looking for more. The backliners are there. T-Pity was in the back behind them. Not going to be able to, look for his way into this fight quite yet. I love Stop You going through that teleporter. Saying, all right, all four of you can't chase us, Bologna's going this way, I'm going that way. However, Calder's Good Boys with a great call, picking up this Fire Giant after, an amazing fight over there in mid. They don't have their secure though, so they're going to have to be careful. Twig looking to get on T-Pity, already putting out a ton of damage. However, those crit autos hurt. A couple more will do him in. Looking pretty even though. T-Pity able to pick up Twig. Fire Giant still not falling. Captain Boat is here. T-Pity is here. Watery Grave used to push him back out. Captain Boat going to pick up Jungle Scrub. And it looks like Ice Age is going to steal the Fire Giant. They're able to just turn that completely. Just great fighting coming out from T-Pity. Able to win the 1v1 versus Twig. Buys enough time for Boat to get in there. And Ice Age just back in the driver's seat immediately after a little bit of a hiccup.
Tragic for Calder's Good Boys. Robin tried to 1v1 T-Pity. He does not have Spectral yet. He cannot be taking these 1v1s without Spectral. He's just going to lose every time. You're going to get out-traded by crit. And, they've opened... The game was already in Ice Age's favor, but now the Middle Phoenix is gone, and the actual game might be on the table for Ice Age. Looks like they're going to back off. They're going to do tier 2s. Not going to make a hasty end call just yet. Yeah, Calder's Good Boys spawning soon, but... If you are Calder's Good Boys, if you're going to win this game, it's going to be off of a mistake.
Jolt almost just got soloed by the Primal Fury. He had to have been less than 100 HP there.
Ooh, man, yeah,
I'm
he
just like looking at the health bar of the Primal Fury and the health bar on Jolt, and I'm like, honey, you're not, honey, please stop, please. You're not winning this one. I'm sorry to tell you, but
yeah, Leather Call Devils is not enough lifesteal to be soloing the Primal Fury this late into the game, but
I forget. Can you even lifesteal off of objectives anymore? I know
oh,
you can't off
you can.
fire. I'm not sure.
I don't think you can. Yeah, it has to be like some sort of heal, like Bologna 3 or something like that. Yeah, I don't think you can lifesteal.
Yeah, I don't think you can. I think he was kind of reliving the good old days when you used to be
Yeah,
able to just kind of walk up there as an ADC and walk away at full health because of reasons. Gets the backup this time when Kanu able to give him a little bit of damage to make up for it, and they're gonna be able to knock down that Primal Fury, have that mid Phoenix down. No tier twos left, so definitely where you want to be with Ice Age right here.
Beacon gonna take a chunk off both Phoenixes, and they're looking to siege. It looks like they're gonna go to the left side of the map. Definitely the smarter side to take. You want someone as far from Fire Giant as possible when you go to take it. So you
Yeah.
want this left Phoenix down.
We see what looks to be a pretty good wraparound coming from Kaldr's Good Boys. Not quite able to catch anybody stepping too far up, though. Captain Boat is here, TP's on in, and it looks like we're going to see a 5v5 over this left Phoenix. The question is, do they wait for those mid, enhanced waves to start pushing?
I think you do. I think you can play as patient as you want.
Ooh,
With this comp.
Beastly takes so much damage
Oh,
immediately. Oh, great Kraken going to knock half off of Twig, taken down immediately by Lenkanu. Jungle Scrub not quite going to fall. Great peel coming out from his solo laner. Lands in, makes sure he can't quite finish it off. Still looking for more. 5-member surge in. They do have Fafnir in ult. He's dropping that massive coerce. This Titan is falling. Ice Age drags out a 2-game set, able to bring that one home, and they looked very strong this game.
incredible play from Ice Age. From minute one, was in control of the game, and they never really let it go. Uh, Super well played by Ice Age. I think Calder's Good Boys had a few moments where they looked like they could have won or put themselves in a position to win, but just Ice Age really never let them do that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there were moments of brilliance from the good boys for sure, you know.
Mhm.
They look at that fire giant, it gets very low and it just, you know, their timers just don't quite line up and they get it stolen from them and they get nearly decided there. Just so unlucky. They're not able to quite bring any of their plans, over that line. Just great plays from Ice Age though.
Yeah, it looks like Calder's Good Boys thought if they took Jolt off that thought that they would have a chance at winning, and Ice Age showed that they're just a more well-rounded team altogether, even outside of Jolt. So heads up play for them. Smart play. They played together. They played well, and they drafted what they wanted, and they played that plan that they drafted.
Yeah, I definitely love to see, Jolt not being the superstar this game too. Yeah, sure, he's top damage, but we see pop-off performances from T Pity, we see pop-off performances from Boat, so just a team where, you have to pick very carefully where you want to put that pressure on in these coming weeks. I've been Ruler of Men, joined by Divine Ape. We should be having another cast tomorrow, I believe 8 o'clock, so stay tuned for that. Other than that, thank you guys for coming out and watching.